organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV,
it's time to say goodbye to Hubbard Park for one University of Iowa class.
And less are applying to graduate programs at the UI. The reason is next.
And in sports, Barron speaks, baseball falls,
and track prepares to head outdoors.
We have it all at the top of the hour. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Hannah Thompson.
And I'm Muriel Kone. What exactly is going on at Hubbard Park? As you may have guessed, the park is undergoing new renovations, which has caused the space to close for the rest of the semester. The closing will displace many scheduled spring activities, and our own Stephen Duran found one university class that can no longer call the park home.
This is Allison Vandergrift, and she is teaching an Iowa Ultimate Frisbee class at the Fieldhouse. However, until a recent closing decision was made, it was supposed to be taught here.
Hubbard Park is great because you're in the middle of everything downtown. Students can just come from class and get there really fast versus...
Allison was forced to relocate to the Fieldhouse in the last 2 weeks, and this unexpected change has altered some of her teaching techniques.
It changes the structure and things we can work on. It's a lot different throwing inside versus throwing outside, so the dynamic will be much different when we finally get outside. The goal is that we will be meeting outside for this course. It's just a matter of where.
Unfortunately, Hubbard Park will not be an outdoor option for any class until construction on the park is completed earlier this summer. The improvements and additions like new water lines to the IMU are current inconveniences, but officials say they are necessary for the park's future.
It needed to be completed before summer, and by protecting the grass and the lawn and the integrity of the field now, it will really make it better and more special when it reopens.
So until large construction sites like this are removed, no students will be able to perform physical activities like this. Stephen Duran, Daily Iowan TV.
Master's enrollment at the UI is down by over 20%. In 2009, there were roughly 2,200 students enrolled in master's degrees, but last year that number dropped to just over 1,700. Dean of the Graduate College, John Keller, said those numbers could be down because less students are receiving support for higher degrees. Other factors associated with the drop include rising tuition costs, increased loan debt, and less job security.
And the UI declined the invitation from the hit HBO show Girls to be filmed on campus Thursday. HBO wanted to film Hannah Horvath, played by the show's creator Lena Dunham, who was accepted to Iowa Writers' Workshop as part of the latest season's finale. UI spokesman Tom Moore said in a prepared statement, "While we are pleased that the Iowa Writers' Workshop is receiving national attention and that our graduate is doing well in her career, our general practice is to not allow filming due to potential disruption to campus."
Police have arrested a second suspect in firing dozens of shots into a West Side Iowa City apartment building where a birthday party was taking place the evening of March 7th. 19-year-old Gage M. Roop of Cedar Rapids was arrested Thursday morning on charges of reckless use of a firearm and intimidation with a dangerous weapon. Roop is one of 4 men suspected in the incident. Police said more than a dozen shots were fired, and Roop was seen involved in the shooting, running from the apartment building, shooting back at the building as he ran.
4 candidates have come forward to run for the 2 open seats on the Johnson County Board of Supervisors. The 4 candidates for the June 3rd primary election day are Democrats Lisa Green Douglas, Mike Carberry, Janelle Redding, and Republican John Etheridge. Key factors of the election include updating the aging Johnson County Courthouse and jail, increased mental health and disability services, and finding a balance in land use between development and agriculture.
And still on the way, some business yoga on campus, how you can learn how to succeed on the mat.
But first, let's check in with our own Nick Fisher in the weather studio. Nick?
Hey guys, today brought us cloudy skies and rain throughout, but tomorrow that should all change. The morning will be a brisk 32 degrees with partly cloudy skies. In the afternoon, the partly cloudy skies will stick around, but we will see quite an increase in temperatures with a high of 44. Heading into the night, overcast skies will bring us a high temperature of 44 degrees. And continuing into the weekend, Saturday will look similar to Friday with overcast skies and a high temperature of 52 degrees. Get out the shorts and tank tops because Sunday we will be seeing highs in the mid-60s. But don't pack the rain boots up just yet because Monday we are looking at highs in the low 60s with an 80% chance of precipitation. Tuesday, expect the rain to clear and the temperatures to fall off just a bit with highs in the upper 40s. And just when you thought the warm weather was here to stay, Wednesday brings us back down to a chilly temp in the 30s with ice pellets expected. That's all I have for you in the weather studio tonight. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Nick. And now it's time for this week's edition of Spotlight Iowa City. We're shining a light on a local yoga master. We'll hand it over to our own Megan Horhan for the rest. Megan?
Yoga is something that takes a lot of work to hone. But Derek Brenner, a University of Iowa student, is taking his skills to help others do so. He started his own business to help people learn the art of yoga, but doesn't want learning to stop there. Derek hopes to take his business to the next level to help others succeed on the yoga mat and in life.
What students may not know about the Papa John Business Building is that it happens to double as a yoga studio. One entrepreneurial management student is taking his business mindset and combining it with his love of yoga to dive headfirst into the business world.
And for me, since yoga had become a nice aspect of my life and it meant a lot and given me a lot of different tools and experience, I decided hey, let's go out and try this.
He started the business Yoga Derek after taking yoga classes, becoming a certified instructor, and teaching voluntarily at United Action Youth Group.
It stems from wanting to give back. I think that's really important, is wanting to once you find something you really like, the highest level of that is sharing it. So I wanted to share this, make it free to the students. And especially a place that has been home for me for the last 2 years, the Tippie College of Business.
It's like a 45-minute session only, so it doesn't take up much of the day. It's in a nice time block. I have a break right now, so in between class I just come here and it's a nice little workout.
Base where you tune out all the chatter, all the distractions. We have all the social media, electronics, when you can just come settle down and just bring everything back down to your source.
He teaches in the Iowa City area and hopes to create his own brand of yoga gear, and branching out to create his own yoga studio that focuses on yoga but also becoming your best self. This is Megan Horhan reporting for Daily Iowan TV.
Derek teaches yoga classes free of charge every Tuesday at 12:15 in the Papa John Business Building. If you're looking for a new workout and to be more centered, be sure to check it out. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Megan. And now for what's happening beyond Iowa. Today marks the 6th day for rescuers searching Washington's landslide. With 90 people confirmed missing and 35 still unsure, hope for finding the survivors is starting to dwindle. The landslide happened in Dearborn, Washington, leaving a mile wide and roughly 40 feet deep debris field.
Death penalty is not something any country wants to be known for, but the U.S. is among the top 5 countries in the world for a number of death penalties in 2013. A report released by Amnesty International showed that the number of executions around the world rose almost 15% last year. The report said the global increase could be due to more executions in Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. And I can't believe I'm saying this, Muriel, but football opening up their spring practice as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, Ferentz and company, not the only ones making headlines in the sports world, though Kevin and Aaron Faust has the latest on everything black and gold. Guys?
That's right, guys. Big Skin back on the program as we gear up for the battles of spring practice.
Baseball and track also on tap this evening, but we will start where we left off, Kevin, with Hawkeye Spring Ball.
Kirk Ferentz addressing members of the media for the first time this spring Wednesday afternoon. The biggest concern heading into 2014?
Replacing the production and departing linebackers James Morris, Anthony Hitchens, and Christian Kirksey.
First thing you always think about are we were very senior heavy at the linebacker position. So I think those guys are probably representative of the challenge that we have. You have 3 guys that not only played very well, they all played at an extremely high level, but the things they did in terms of giving us leadership.
Multiple headlines coming from the head coach's address of the program. Catch all of that on dailyiowan.com.
But the news making the biggest stir is that for the 2nd year in a row, there will be a quarterback battle in 2014.
Ferentz giving the edge to junior gunslinger Jake Rudock over challenger CJ Beathard as the team kicks off spring ball.
I'm not going to say it's just like last year because it's not quite just like last year, but it is in that they'll both compete. And Nick is further behind those guys certainly, but CJ did a lot of good things last year, and I would expect him to be a better player this spring than he was a year ago, and so we'll let those guys compete, and it should be great competition.
Parents making news off the field. The Iowa baseball team makes headlines on it recently.
Unfortunately for Rick Heller and company, visiting Bradley crashing the dream to start 2014 at Duane Banks Field Wednesday afternoon.
Daily Iowan TV Sports' Alyssa Bergamini at the Duane Banks for this one and has the extended highlights.
After coming off a strong start in the Big Ten opening weekend for the Hawkeyes, it was a fight against the wind Wednesday afternoon as Bradley baseball shut out the Hawkeyes 7-0 at Duane Banks Field. Bats stayed silent in the first 5 innings with no runs scored from either team. The 3 Iowa pitchers, Sasha Kubiel, Matt Allen, and Jared Mandel held the Braves scoreless, but things picked up at the top of the 6th. Bradley grabbing the 1-0 lead by leadoff hitter Chris Godinez with a 1-out double against Iowa freshman Jake Reinhardt. Reinhardt suffered the loss, allowing only 1 run on 2 hits in 1/3 of an inning. Again, no runs in the 7th from the Hawkeyes or Braves, but Bradley busts out 6 runs in the 8th inning on 5 hits, giving the Braves that 7-0 lead. Bradley starter Elliot Ashbeck pitched 8 scoreless innings, allowing only 5 hits and finishing with 3 strikeouts to a single walk. Now 14-7, Iowa baseball will step up to the plate again this Friday, opening up a 3-game series, but this time at Michigan. First pitch is at 3 p.m. With Iowa baseball, Alyssa Bergamini, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Track and field ready to join the baseball Hawks outdoors.
After the completion of the indoor season, the Iowa Tracksters are eager to brave the elements and kick off their outdoor campaign.
Daily Iowan TV Sports' Rachel Bedell has more.
The Hawkeyes on the track are coming off of a successful indoor season and are doing it all to prepare for the beginning of the transition to outdoor.
We have some different events. I mean, we're going to add some events to the schedule that aren't contested indoors. Bigger tracks. I mean, the obvious thing is a different facility, perhaps a little more travel, getting on some airplanes, heading to Arizona State.
However, there are many more differences.
Outdoor, we have to start training. We have to start practicing our 4x1 passes. So that's like one of the big major things that's different from indoor.
4x1 is the major difference between practicing indoor and outdoor, and then also just. We're back to that conditioning stage a little bit.
Going from indoor to outdoor, especially as a multi-eventer, is a little bit different because you go from 7 events to 10 events. And the hurdles, you go from doing 5 to doing 10, which basically doubles. And I had a hurdle practice today where we went over 7 for the first time and almost died. And we also add javelin, which you can't really throw inside.
Training for their outdoor season can be difficult when the Iowa weather is constantly making the Hawks train indoors.
The weather has been awful around the country this winter. You're watching there, they're doing relay exchanges, and it's not on the outdoor track, so they're not in the zones or having to put chalk down and tape down and make zones, so it's obviously not quite the same.
With the hurdles, you can't set up 10, but you can get like 8 in here. Pole vault's difficult too because wind is a factor, and indoor it's like really consistent, just no wind every time. When you go outdoor, the wind starts to blow, you have headwinds and crosswinds coming from the side. And also it's cold, and your hands don't really work when it gets cold, and that's kind of scary too, and just something else you have to deal with.
Needless to say, the Hawks are eager to escape the cold for their first outdoor meet.
It was pretty exciting because it's been 20 degrees here in Iowa for about the last 10 years, and it's going to be 90, I think, in Phoenix.
So we're going to open up with prime competition, and it's a good opportunity to just open up with a bang.
Rachel Bedell, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Kev, that will do it for this evening.
A whole lot more coming up on the Sunday edition of the program, but for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Well, that's all we have for tonight, but be sure to read Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan.
You can get the details on the new courthouse security plan.
And affordable housing, where we stand statewide and nationally.
Well, thanks for tuning in this evening. We'll be back at the same time on Sunday, or you can catch us anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?